Ooh, yeah, you gotta make sure you're hydrated for stuff like this. So let's start over. You know what? No, we're not gonna start over. We're just gonna push through the discomfort. All right, cool. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. This video is the life advice I would give myself, 10, 20 years ago, growing up, kid who had dyslexia and ADHD. This is the exact blueprint that I would advise myself to follow into the next, 20 years or so. So when I was doing research to kind of make this video, I looked up several different frameworks of how people have thought about giving life advice. And there was a guy, his name is Jim Rohn, and he wrote a book called The Seasons of Life. And I read it. It's pretty interesting, and I like the way he used the seasons as a metaphor for like the ups and downs of the trials and tribulations of life that people face. I like that concept, but the way he used it was like seasons come and go, that kind of thing. But how I like to think about it is each phase of your life is kind of like a season. So especially if you're a person who has like a neurodivergent mind, you're probably going to start off in the winter of your life. The beginning, the tough part is growing up thinking differently than the rest of the people around you. School is probably going to be a little bit harder for you. Like relating with other people, it's going to be a little bit harder for you. So winter, the beginning of your life, is probably the hardest part to begin with. So we'll start from there. So when I'm thinking about this seasons of life idea, I'm really kind of thinking about the StarCraft build order idea as well. What's the best build order for a neurodiverse person to kind of construct their life so they can have like a really strong late game? And that's what we called it. When you had like a really strong opening in the beginning, you can as time progressed, you would get more and more advantages, and these advantages would accumulate where you can kind of, towards the end of the game, you can kind of overwhelm your opponent, and that's what you're trying to do. And the same thing I think applies to life, where you're trying to gain like little advantages over time, and these little advantages kind of compound over time, and these little advantages turn into big advantages. All right, a quick announcement before we get to the rest of the video. I created a quiz so you can find out what dyslexic strengths you have. The link is in the description below. Click on it, take the quiz, and find out right now. All right, let's jump back into the video. So in winter season, the first season of your life, the beginning, you want to try to really find yourself and discover who you are. And then the best way to do that is to really figure out like how your brain works. And figure out all the ways that your childhood, your upbringing kind of messed you up, and figure out those like mental things that kind of get in the way of you being able to be successful. So the way I've done it, and the way I've did this, was when I was just getting into teaching, when I was just getting out of college. I started seeing a therapist because there was a lot of things inside my brain that wasn't like really helping me, and there was a lot of self-sabotage involved. There's a lot of things that I needed to get together. So this first phase of your life, you want to really try to get your shit together, and then you want to try to build an infinite runway. And what I mean by that is you want to try to create a life where it allows you to take a lot of risks. So get a job, find someone to love, build good relationships, and find a career that allows you to support your lifestyle, but also gives you a lot of freedom to like learn things, experiment with things, and to generally grow as a person. And if you can do that, what it'll do is it'll kind of set up your life where you'll be able to take a lot more risk than if you didn't have that type of lifestyle. And also you want to reduce your how big of a lifestyle you have. So you don't want to have the biggest car, you don't want to have the nicest house or anything like that. You want to reduce your lifestyle to where it's like really easy to maintain, and you don't need to have a lot of money to maintain that. And how I like to think about it is kind of like in a video game, where you reach a certain point in that video game, and if you die, you kind of respawn at that spot. So you can like take risks and learn throughout the game, because you have like infinite lives and like infinite runway to like keep messing up. So that's kind of how I've structured my life. When I was thinking about this idea, and the first winter stage of my life was I got a job as a teacher, and that job wasn't earning me a lot of income, but it was giving me a lot of time freedom and time wealth. So I was able to kind of invest that time into learning a lot of different skills, experimenting with different skills, trying to figure out like who I was as a person, and also developing relationships with people that later on that really helped me out when I was trying to do other things. So in this winter stage, the first stage where you're really trying to find yourself, you want to try to cultivate a healthy body, a calm mind, and you want to try to surround yourself with love. And what I mean by that is you want to try to go out there and build relationships with people who are also going in a positive direction. Because the early stages of your life, it's really easy to fall into the trap of becoming like everyone else around you. So if you surround yourself with a bunch of bozos, a bunch of people that are just time wasting, partying and doing just generally like wasteful things, the chances are very high that you're going to become one of those people later on. So those relationships are really, really important. And at the tail end of this finding yourself stage, this winter stage, the best thing to do is to start working on a project, whatever it is. So it's not your work, it's something that you're interested in. It's at that point in the beginning stages of your life, you really don't know what you're good at. You really don't know what you're passionate about. So it's just kind of important to just get out there and do something, and just pick any project and kind of start working on it. And then while you're working on that project, just start showing your work. Start using the internet to like do a podcast, start a blog, start an Instagram account, something to where you're kind of putting yourself out there and kind of getting feedback on the projects. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to kind of build like a social network around those ideas, and you're also going to be able to attract people that are also doing the same type of things as you are. So once you have all of this stuff set up, you're ready to move on to the second season of your life, which is spring season. And in the second season of your life, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to build your personal monopoly. And what that means is you're trying to grow your reputation, and you're trying to grow an audience or build an audience. I'm not saying you got to be a social media influencer or anything like that. What I'm saying is whatever industry or passion that you have, if you want to have a big impact on it, you need to work with other people. So it helps to develop your reputation with these people, and also it helps to grow your influence with these people. So when you're working with them, you can have good relationships with them. You can have good deal flow coming into your life. You can have more opportunities coming into your life because you're connected in your industry. You're connected with those people who have the opportunities that you need, and also the value that you can add to their lives. In season one, you might have started a project, and you might have, if you got lucky, you felt madly, passionately in love with this particular project, but it's not what happens to most people, and it's not what happened to me. What usually happens is once you get started on a project, your mind will kind of work on that project for a while until you find something that's more interesting than the first project that you're working on. And what would happen is the skills that you built with this first project, you can kind of apply to the second project or the third or the fourth or the fifth, and then your interest will kind of evolve over time, and you as a creator, you as like a person who's working on these different projects will also kind of evolve, and your skills will kind of rise with these projects. Now, when you're in the second season of your life, what you want to do is you want to start sharing what you learn, sharing the things that you make, start sharing the ideas that you have around the projects that you're working on. Start putting them out into the public, not with the intention of like building a huge audience, but with the intention of like documenting what you're doing, kind of showing your journey through like beginning to wherever you're going to end up. In the spring season, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to become smarter, you're trying to become more ambitious, and you're trying to become a person of high integrity. So when I'm saying smarter, what I'm saying is you're trying to get better at whatever it is that you're passionate about, better than pretty much anyone around you. And you want to try to get to a really high skill level at that thing. You want to become more ambitious. You want to start setting like really difficult goals for yourself, because once you start setting these difficult goals, then you like something will happen inside of you to where you'll be able to like turn something on and hopefully achieve those goals. Even just having goals will kind of give a direction to your life. And what difficult goals will allow you to do is it'll allow you to move and progress and get better faster at all those different skills that we were talking about. And the last thing that you should be trying to do in this season is you want to become a person of high integrity, because the longer you live, the more you'll realize that you want to start playing long-term games with long-term people. This is a saying I got from Naval Ravikant, and he says he only plays games with long-term people. And all of the interesting things in life happens because of long-term relationships and long-term investment in certain things. So if you become a person of high integrity, other people will want to play long-term games with you. Other people will want to play long-term games with you, and other people will want to invest in you. And the same thing is going to be true. Whenever you find someone who's a person of high integrity, you will naturally want to invest in them because it's going to be a long-term relationship. So develop those high integrity skills in yourself to where you become a person of yeah, you become a person of like high reputation and a person of high influence, and where other people will want to work with you. And the second phase, the second season of life is really about your reputation, the skills that you develop, but it's also about developing relationships with other people and building your audience, growing your influence, and really becoming the best at whatever field that you're trying to be best at. This could take like 10, 20 years if you do it correctly, if you're not hopping around everywhere. And most people don't even become the best at whatever it is that they're trying to do. But I really think anyone can become really great at something if they just keep, pressing forward and just staying focused on, getting better, setting high goals for themselves, and like keeping, high integrity. So the third season of life, I like to call it summer, and this is the season I'm moving into. I think I'm in the end of spring season right now, and I'm like in my life in general, I'm kind of moving towards summer season. So all the things I'm about to tell you, it's just like from my position of where I am right now. These are not things I've actually experienced. These are just things that I've talked to like other people about. These are things I've researched. In the summer season, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to earn your freedom. What I mean by that is you're taking your projects, those passion projects, those skills that you kind of built up, and you're trying to monetize those skills and passions in order to liberate you from your like 9 to 5. This is a good time to start a side hustle. This is a good time to really get out of debt. This is a good time to really focus on getting your financial house in order, because money is really important when it comes to chasing your goals, when it comes to chasing your dreams. There's going to be a time when you're going to need some resources in order to get better at certain things. And it's just a fact of life. In this phase of your life, you're just generally trying to increase the numbers of streams of income you have and reduce your debt, and also trying to quit your job. In season one, we built like this career, this like picked a job that was kind of safe, that was going to be able to like allow us to kind of, give us an infinite runway and things like that. But now this job has kind of outlived its usefulness, and now it's time to kind of get out. So the way to get out is you want to try to replace the income that you'd be getting from your job with this side hustle thing that you're trying to build. And this is going to be like the scariest part of this thing, because what you've done is you built like this castle, and your life is pretty good right now in this season because you built all these different things to kind of support you. You're like learning different things, you're building relationships, and it all kind of hinges on your ability to like have money coming in, like because your life is now being supported by this job, and the prospect of going out into the world and creating something, a business where you're able to independently earn money without this job, is going to be really scary. And that's the point where I am right now. So for the longest time, I've had this job as a teacher. It's been such a great blessing in our lives. We've been able to like really support our lifestyle and things like that. But there's really no other place I can go with this job, because there's really a ceiling. There's like a skill ceiling, as well as a salary ceiling, as well as a challenge ceiling. And I think I've kind of reached all three of these ceilings at this point in my career. So what I'm trying to do now, this might take me like 2 years or 5 years or even like a year. I don't know how long it's going to take, but what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to build side hustles in order to help me replace the income that I'm getting from teaching. Because once you're able to quit your 9 to 5, you'll have a lot more time wealth that you can like compound into like developing this business even more, and also developing other skills like leadership and business and entrepreneurship and things like that. The next season, which is really far from me, I think it's like 10, 15 years away from where I am right now, is fall. And in fall season, what you're trying to do is really productize yourself using leverage. So this is using different forms of leverage in order to multiply your efforts. So this is like hiring people, using capital, using tools, using media and code in order to increase your effectiveness. I'll probably end this video here. I know this one was a little weird and different, but I just wanted to kind of put this out there. It's been something I've been thinking about for a long time. I know there wasn't really that many videos for people to think about like their life in this like long-term way. There's like advice on like what should we do in 2021 or like 2022 or whatever, but there wasn't like a guide on what to do with your life. And this is not the perfect guide, because I think this is something that I've kind of developed by myself and for myself, and it might not work for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this idea, the 4 seasons of your life, and at each season you have kind of like this goal that you're trying to work on. All right, everybody, I think that's it. Also, if you like this video, please smash that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. One of my biggest goals this year is to get to 100,000 subscribers. And yeah, it would be really cool to have like 100,000 Dyslexics just vibing and connecting with each other in YouTube and in our dyslexia community. If you want to join the dyslexia community, you can find it at community.howtodyslexia.com. Please join. Hope you guys like this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody. Love ya. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.